We have finally collected the Suzuki Fronx, and let's all gather here and congratulate Mr. DN. I'm requesting you to watch the video till the end, and you're most definitely going to learn a lot of things. Thanks to everyone who participated in the poll to choose the name for this channel. And based on the votes, the name for this YouTube channel is now Timber on Wheels. And welcome to my YouTube channel, Timber on Wheels. If you have not subscribed, please make it a point that you subscribe. This video is part 2 of the car buying journey of Mr. DN, and if you have not watched part 1, I'll leave the link in the description below. In part 1, that is when we went to a Suzuki dealership to check out the Suzuki Fronx as well as test driving it. Right from that time, Mr. DN was sure that he's going to buy a Suzuki Fronx GL Auto. When you're in the market for a car, you must always have options. Even if you've got one choice of a car, you must still have options. This will actually help you avoid bogus deals. Mr. DN was not hostile to the idea of buying a decent pre-owned Fronx. He went into the cars.co site where he found a Suzuki Fronx GL Auto. In fact, he found two of them. With the first one, it was being sold from a Dodgy dealership at a very low price. The top of the range Fronx GLX will cost you 354,900 rands. It does not make sense for a Suzuki Fronx, which is a 2024 model and with a mileage of 17,000 on the clock, selling for 269,900 rands. In simple terms, the car was too cheap for it to be true. So you don't want to find yourself buying a car that was involved in an accident and you can't figure it out, or rather buying a car that is a rebuild. It did not actually end there. I remember at first the car was found on cars.co, and then the gentleman went on Auto Trader, found the very same car selling at a different price. Then now you see that this is a huge red flag. On Auto Trader, the very same car was selling for 284,999 rands. One guy from the dealership responded to Mr. DN and said to him, there is too much competition in the market and that is the reason why they are putting different prices. This is just daylight robbery. The next car was actually Suzuki Fronx GL Auto, which was selling for 307,900 rands. You will notice that the car was advertised without pictures, and there's only one meaning: they did not have a car with them. Basically, these guys were still waiting for the car to be delivered at their dealership. Mr. DN was interested in this car because it was selling for a lower price and it is the top of the range GLX. At this point, Mr. DN requested the dealership to bring the car to him so that he can test drive it and also see if it is in a good condition. All along, the guys at the dealership were claiming that they have the car with them. They said to Mr. DN they cannot take the car to him because it's a little bit far, but rather if he does a finance application with them, they will have a reason to bring a car to him. We were so curious about this car, we just wanted to see it and be sure that indeed it is something that is worth buying. A finance application was done and approved with a variable interest rate of 15.6%. You know what we did? We rejected it immediately. My interest rate on the ballot was 11.5, and that was when the prime lending rate was still 11.75. So it was below with 25 basis points. And then when the prime lending rate decreased with 25 basis points to 11.5, my interest rate came down to 11.25. The current prime lending rate is 11.5%, and you cannot find yourself with an interest rate of 15% and above. You see, one other thing that made us doubt these guys was that they claimed that the car only has 50 kilometers of mileage. That is highly impossible. At the price it was selling for, it was highly impossible. 50 kilometers of mileage means that the car is still brand new, probably never been used that much, it was only driven once, and it is supposed to be selling for a price that matches with the brand new price. The dealership also refused to give us a discount and said to us they discounted the car from 345,000 to 307,000 rands. So that does not make sense. Dealerships are in this thing to make money, and you cannot discount a car like that and expect to make profit. It doesn't make sense at all. I was actually looking for the advert where they were selling the car for 307,900 rands and I couldn't find it anymore. Now here is a Suzuki Fronx GL Auto with 50 kilometers of mileage, selling for 349,800 rands. So this is a realistic price. Another one with 3,000 kilometers of mileage selling for 326,440 rands. So these are realistic prices that you must look for. The mileage, the year model must match with the price. At some point we thought they are selling us the GL and confusing it to be a GLX. We only got to see that it's a GLX indeed when they sent us pictures, but at that time we had already given up because also the dealership was not willing to meet us halfway. We went back to the initial dealership for a brand new car. This is the same dealership where we did the test drive, and the guys here were already offering us a discount of 7,500 rands. A brand new Suzuki Fronx GL AUTO will cost you 317,900 rands. With the 7,500 rands discount, the car was now going to sell for 310,400 rands. We then requested for more discount because the first offer is not always the best. The maximum amount of discount the dealership was willing to give us was 9,000 rands. We did try to push further for more discount, even though they told us they are giving us their maximum discount, which was 9,000 rands. But in this case, they couldn't stretch anymore. We then settled for this and did a finance application. The application was approved by the same bank that gave us 15.6% of a variable interest rate. But then this time around, they gave us an interest rate of 13.6%, which was also a variable interest rate. Most people are always advised to take the fixed rate because whatever happens to the prime lending rate as well as the repo rate, their interest rate won't change. But then that is not always the case. Sometimes you have to gauge the situation. Is it really favoring you or not? Right now we can expect the repo rate to go down once more. A decent amount was also put as a deposit, and that will help with lowering the car loan from the bank. The interest rate was not a problem because the car will be paid off before the 72 months comes to an end, which is a good thing to do. Paying off your car in a short space of time will save you a lot of money. Please allow me to take you back a little bit. With that 9,000 discount, this car was now going to be selling for 308,900 rands. On top of this amount, we added 2,500 rands for smash and grab and 1,305 rands for metallic paint. An amount of 4,995 rands for service and delivery fees, and you must know that this is compulsory. And lastly, an amount of 1,950 rands for license and registration. So the total amount of extras is 10,750 rands. So if you're buying a car and you see the price of the car is 250 rands, do not do your calculations with the 250 rands. Do it with a 260 rands or more. The deal was just fine. It's not the best of the best, but it's something that you could actually settle for. Now it was time to take the car home. I thought it was going to be very difficult for this gentleman to maneuver around taxi drivers. But then, guess what? He surpassed my expectation. He was doing the worst than taxi drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of it. If you're interested in more details, please let me know in the comment section and specify those details. I'll definitely do another video and give you those details. Please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay tuned for more car related content.